All right, what is going on, everybody? We are back to our regularly scheduled programming. We're going to talk about a very, very exciting NBA game that happened last night. The Clippers versus the Suns in Phoenix. The Suns sweep the season series versus the Clippers in spectacular fashion, an absolutely spectacular fashion. One of the best regular season games um, this year, in my opinion. The Phoenix Suns got the W against the Clippers, 119 to the Clippers, 117. Um, if you like what I have to say, like the video. If you have your own opinions, comment them down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel and all that stuff. So yeah, let's just hop right into it, man. Um, there's a lot going on with this game. There's a lot I want to say. I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot of things. A lot of things. First things first. Um, if you turn this game off in the first half, and you're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go to bed. This game's over." You missed a great game. um, thing two, um, this Suns team found something, man. They found something. I don't know if they can push it to benefit them long term. There were a lot of rumors flying around about them. Post All Star break, they haven't been the best. Um, they've been very, very well. They've been bad. Well, I won't say very bad. They've been bad. They've been below their standards of what they've wanted to be, or what they dreamed they could be, or hoped to be. This season, they are 29-33 on the season. Um, they're in what's it called? They're in danger of missing the playoffs entirely. So they really need this win. Um, and this win was a spectacular win. If I go by, how do I want to do this? Let me see. If I go quarter by quarter, like I said, if you turn this game off in the first half, um, you missed a great game. Otherwise, if you watched this full game, you watched Kevin Durant. Um, let's see here. Kevin Durant with 34 points did not score almost at all. I think he had like 8 points in the first half. Like he shot terribly. He couldn't get a shot off. It was just bad. You watch Kevin Durant, um, Nick Richards, Devin Booker, um, Mason Plumlee, and the guy of the night, the man of the night, Colin Gillespie, um, put on a hell of a fight. A little bit in the third, and then they really tried to put their foot on the gas in the fourth, and they were able to do it. If I look at the uh, the shot breakdown here, um, looking back on it in real time, you could feel the momentum changing, but the Suns have had such a bad season. You're like, oh, this isn't gonna happen. They're not gonna come back from this, right? Um, at 10:24 in the fourth quarter, Grayson Allen makes a 23-foot 3-point shot. Right, Colin Gillespie gets the steal, gets the assist. Right, it makes the game Suns 87, Clippers 97. Right, 10-point lead. Got a whole quarter to go though. Right, they go on, they play the game. It's tight here and there. There's a couple fouls. There's a foul called. There's a timeout. So on and so forth. And then they really start going back and forth. Um, Mason Plumlee makes a free throw. Amir Coffey for the Clippers um, makes a 3-point shot. And it looks like the Clippers are going to be able to keep this lead a little bit. And there's some fouls. There's a rebound. There's this. There's that. There's a shooting foul, right? And then as we get closer to the midway point, around the 7-minute, 6-minute mark, the lead is cut down for the Clippers to 102, and the Suns have 97 points. And then you start thinking, oh wow, okay, they're really really close. Let's see if they can do this. And um, Ivica Zubac this whole game, the Clippers center, was getting easy dimes from the from James Harden. Sorry about that. Sorry if you could hear that in the background. Um, See, as I was saying, Clippers 104, Suns 100, and then it starts to get real interesting. Like I was saying, Ivica Zubac was getting a lot of easy buckets from James Harden um, for the Clippers, and then Kevin Durant with 4 minutes and 18 minutes left, with 4:18 left on the clock. That's how I should say it. Ties the game 106 to 106, making a 19-foot jumper. It was a crazy awkward shot. Um, I think he had it at the elbow, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he had it at the elbow. He turned a few times, and then he put it in. I think he put it right over um, Chris Dunn or something. I believe. No, it was James Harden. It was James Harden. It was James Harden. And after that, it was a fight. It was very, very close. Obviously, there's only 4 minutes left, so nobody's panicking yet. But like, you could feel the momentum start to change. And Mason Plumlee, Colin Gillespie, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant really just closed out this game for them. And it was a thrill to watch. Um, the last the last real shot of the game was James Harden at the free throw line. He makes the first one. He intentionally misses the second one, and the ball bounces around. It gets to Kawhi Leonard, Clippers forward. He tries to put it up. He misses the rim completely, but it lands in Ivica Zubac's hands, and Zubac, Big Zoo, just tries to flick it in like one-handed, right hand, and it just didn't hit. It didn't hit at all, and that was the game. But let's get into some other numbers for this team, for the Suns team right here. Um, Bradley Beal back in the starting lineup. Complete ass. 0 points. 0 points. Worst contract in the league. Bradley Beal does this where he's just like, oh, I'll have a good game, and then not have a good game. This is, in my opinion, this is such a knock on Bradley Beal, but I'm gonna say it anyway. This is what separates guys like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, from like, I'm having a bad game, right? But I'm just gonna push through it, and I know I don't know if we can win this game, but I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be reason I'm not gonna be the reason we don't win this game. And Bradley Beal's the type of guy just put his head down and say, "Nah, we just lost this game. It's over." That's the difference. That's the difference between guys like Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and a guy like Bradley Beal. That's the truth. Sorry if you're a Bradley Beal fan. Um, Mason Plumlee, 14 points, um, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He did a lot of stuff that didn't show up on the stat sheet. His plus minus was plus 19. That's one of the highest for the team. Colin Gillespie, plus minus 21, the highest on the team. 10 points, 3 assists. It doesn't really show it, but he brought and they said it on the broadcast too. He just brought such a different energy. He just brought such a different um, vibe to this team when it desperately needed it. And I was watching this game passively because I was like, oh, I was like a lot of people. Oh, the game's over. It's halftime. Whatever. I'll keep the game on though, right? Just see if it gets interesting. And I kept seeing this guy, and I was like, who is that? I've never seen that guy before. I was like, that's not Grayson Allen. That's not I don't know, like one of these other guys on the team, right? And I turned the volume back on because I had the volume off because the game was over. And they're like, that's Colin Gillespie for blah 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 for two, whatever. We got the steal, whatever the case was. I was like, damn, okay. um, Other guys that played well: Royce O'Neal, 12 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 4 of 7 from three. Grayson Allen, 8 points, 2 of 2 from three. Um, and like I mentioned at the top, Kevin Durant with 34, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Um, the steal numbers do not tell you how good Kevin Durant was passing the ball this game. He had such a bad first half. He was trying to facilitate a bit more. Um, by facilitate, I mean just moving the ball around, just trying to get it to the other guys, and it worked. And he had some great passes towards the end of the game too. There were some high IQ passes. He had a couple. I think he had one or two passes to Mason Plumlee when they really needed a bucket, and Mason made his free throws. He was 6 to 6 from the free throw line, so he wasn't. Kevin Durant wasn't shy getting it to Mason, letting Mason dunk it or try to lay it up or try to draw the foul, and it worked out great. Before we move on to the Clippers, I just want to say this game, the first half of this game, felt like the end of the season when you know you're not, when a team knows they're not making the playoffs and they're just like, oh, just going through the motions, just like, okay, it's the end of the season. Let's get to our early vacation. And then at some point, um, the Suns coach Mike Budenholzer takes a timeout, and the team's getting in the huddle, and Mike Budenholzer is giving everybody a high five, and Kevin Durant just ignores the the hell out of him and just looks at him like, "Don't touch me." And people were talking about that and like, "Oh, the Suns team gonna explode in the off season." And during the game, when the Suns are making the comeback, Kevin Durant was just talking to Mike Budenholzer. He was just talking to him, just on the sideline. So obviously there's something there, but there isn't anything crazy where just Kevin doesn't want to talk to him at all. Because Kevin loves talking about basketball. I think if they're just talking about basketball, Kevin's fine with it. But if like I don't think Kevin Durant likes Mike Budenholzer as a person. But that's neither here nor there. That's just my observation of it. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Um, but this was a much needed win for this Suns team. They really, I can't, I can't even, I can't even tell you how badly they need this game. Um, I'm gonna look at the standings right now. With this win, they're out of the play-in right now. But if they had lost this game, they would have been looking at a very steep climb up from that. They needed this win. They also brought the Clippers down a spot, so that helps as well. Um, I talked about the Mavs yesterday and Kyrie Irving. If you want to check out that video, I'll put a card in the top right corner. Just click it; it will take you right to the video. You can watch that video after this one. Um, the Mavericks are gonna fall. I don't know how deep they're gonna fall, but if the Suns can stay afloat and they can just stay around this range of, they're gonna get 30 something wins, 30 plus, late 30s, early 40 wins. Um, by the end of the season, they could end up anywhere from 8 to 10 and be in the play-in, which would be not the dream scenario for them, but you would be in some type of scenario to either play Oklahoma, the Lakers, Denver, Memphis. You'd be in that sort of realm. You don't want to play those guys in the first round, but I think the Phoenix Suns play like they did last night in the playoffs a couple weeks from now. I'm not gonna say I take them over Oklahoma or take them over the Lakers. I could see him taking on the Nuggets. I could see him taking on Memphis. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. We can talk about this Clippers team very quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on these guys. They did everything right except um, the closeout execution. The end of this game was terrible. James Harden tried to do some signature stuff, couldn't get anything to fall. Um, Kawhi played about as well as he could have given the circumstances. He played 37 minutes. He had 21 points, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 4 rebounds. Um, Ivica Zubac was their leading scorer with 35, and it felt like 35. 10 rebounds as well for the big man, 15 of 19 overall from field goal. James Harden with 21, 15 assists. Those two things coincide Ivica's 35 and James Harden's 15 assists. And James Harden only had one turnover. But his he he didn't shoot the best, especially in crunch time. Um, their trade deadline acquisition, Bogdan Bogdanovic with 13, played some good defense also on Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, played some great defense, some good defense. Um, and Chris Dunn, the Clippers' best defender, which I don't know how to think about that because Colin Gillespie really broke open the game for the Suns on a kick out from Kevin Durant and he splashed it on Chris Dunn. So I don't know how true that is. Um, Amir Coffey with 13 for the Clippers, and they didn't really have anything else. Nicholas Batum with 3, Drew Eubanks with 7. They did everything right. They should have had this game, and they just didn't close out properly. And I would have to watch the game back to tell you exactly how that happened. I don't even think they were sloppy with the ball. I just think they couldn't score. Um, they had the same. I'm looking at team stats now. They had the same amount of field goals. Oh, same field goal percentage. Pardon me. Um, the Suns shot the 3 point at 41%. Wow, that's amazing. Um, they had the same free throw percentage, both teams. Um, they had the same offensive and defensive rebounds. That's wild. Huh. Okay. Uh, Suns had a couple more assists. Um, Clippers had 8 steals to the Suns 5. The Suns had more turnovers, and the Suns conceded more points off turnovers as well. Suns had more fast break points. Clippers had more points in the paint, and the biggest lead for the Clippers was 23, and the biggest lead for the Suns was 6. And they only led twice in the game. That was in the second quarter and in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. And this was the largest comeback at halftime in Suns history, which is amazing. And yeah, I think that's it. I just want to talk about this game. This was a great game. Um, and yeah, hats off to the Suns, man. I I really hope they keep this energy and keep this momentum going. Um, we can look at their schedule, I guess. Coming up here. Let me roll the tape back here a little bit. So they have to play Denver. They have to play Dallas, and they have to play the Rockets. So yeah, they're gonna go on a tough stretch here. These next 4 games are away. Um, I don't know how confident I feel in these next 4 games, but the latter part of their schedule, they're at home. Um, and they're playing some tough teams at home, but I think this game was a positive stepping stone, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, hats off to Kevin Durant, hats off to Colin Gillespie, and yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I don't know if I'll see you tomorrow, but I'll see you sometime later in the week. Sound good? Cheers.